Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroLada, and it's been a long time since I introduced a new amazing astrologer to you because I always spend a lot of time observing astrologers from distance, listening what people are saying, their clients, and I'm very honored now and excited to present to you a very special astrologer. He's a Vedic astrologer. He was recommended to me by my dear teacher, Ernst Wilhelm, one of his best students, and by many people from the AstroLada community that have had readings with him. And when I had a reading with him personally, I was amazed because he could answer me questions on the spot. Like I'll drop something out of the sky and he would go and say this with very specific. That's why I love his style, because he doesn't go on some poetical psychological explanations what your soul wants, which is also great, but he goes very practical and he says, no, this is what education your children should have, which was one of my questions, traditional, that, with very specific reasonings behind. And now I want to present this incredible astrologer to you. His name is Himanshu. Himanshu, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm so excited to have you on our team to present you to people, and may God bless your work. And you have for us an amazing presentation. But before you begin, and the presentation will be about relationships. I saw it. I'm so excited. Can you tell us how you studied astrology, how you work, maybe in a few sentences?
Okay, so first of all, I was a student of IT sector. Okay, I was working in IT industry, and at some point of time, I met my guru who taught me astrology. Okay, so I was with him just for a reading, and his style, everything just amazed me. And that particular moment, I thought, no, I need to learn this particular science. Okay, so from there I started learning. I prepared myself for an year. Then I went to the same astrologer and say, please teach me. Okay. And he's from India, from my location only. His name is Pandit Vijender Shastri. Okay. And he taught me very well with consent, with consultations and everything. And especially, he descended from the lineage of Kalpatriji Maharaj, a very renowned saint in India, who is deceased now. So with that, I was able to receive a lot of things which we call remedies. Okay, how to alter the particular karma. Okay, that is why we need astrology actually, because if we see what is the problem, we already know the problem, but what is the solution? That
Mm-hmm.
is focus, and that is what the specialty of Vedic astrology it is. Okay, we do the elemental balancing, and here we go. Okay, so and after that, then he recommended me that I need to find my techniques more and everything, and need to learn other stuff also. Then I went to our teacher, Hans Willem. Okay, so I spent many years since, I guess, 2019 or 2018 till now. We are just learning every day. There's a new learning, so I get my techniques more defined from learning Sir Hans Willem. And marriage and relationship is something which I my favorite topic and my specialty. So today I'm taking that particular topic. And apart from it, I have business readings and business consultations. That is what my specialty is.
And you said you love also what in India is called
But
muhurt, and horary, answer to one question. People ask you, you look at the chart of the moment and you tell them specific answers.
it is for those people who don't have the birth data. Okay, if we don't have a birth data, that particular technique is very awesome and very helpful all the time, without any doubt.
So can you also specify, do you use tropical or sidereal zodiac?
So I actually use a blend of everything. Okay, because you know what, I go with the classics. So if we talk about what is written in the classics, so when we talk about the cosmos, we just take sidereal astrology. When we talk about the season astrology, we take tropical. So like for Prashna, I take sidereal because for Prashna specifically I learn from my Indian teacher and he uses a sidereal thing. So
Have you
this
seen
is
that tropical works really well with natal astrology? Like you're gonna use now tropical in the examples that you're giving us?
required for tropical, because when the sidereal was invented, because it is about the galaxy. So galaxy is also moving rapidly, and that is why we need to alter. The tropical is something which is um, balances the movement of galaxy as well. Okay, so for natal astrology, just for the prashna, basically I use sidereal one.
But for everything else, it's tropical. So people know. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
And when
Vedic
you
techniques. Yeah.
but the village astrology techniques, for both those particular techniques, we have to go with the sidereal thing. So basically what I do, I just blend my both of the gurus. One is sidereal one is tropical one. And I just blend and it always work for me.
Wonderful. I'm excited. Let's hear. Let's see what you've prepared for us.
So let me share this slide. So before we start, we just pray to Lord Ganpati, because it is a tradition to offer the prayers to Lord Ganpati before we start. So Om Gam Ganpate Namah. So today our topic will be marriage and relationships. Okay. So this is a very exciting and interesting topic for everybody, because uh, today this is a topic where everybody want a companionship. Everybody want to learn about how they will be getting the support in their life. Okay. And this is one of the topic where people suffer a lot.
Mhm.
And they end up making wrong choices and everything, because nobody is there to tell them, and they just carried away with the emotions. Okay, so this topic is something which is very important in nowadays, and really needs some actual light, that how one should be managing this particular life of theirs. Okay, with with the help of astrology, actually we can really go very well. We can look into that whether we should be, this particular sector is for us or not, whether we should be engaging with the people or not. Within this uh, session, I will be talking about two basic village astrology techniques, okay, which will be working bang on every horoscope. It's not something like, okay, 50%, 70%. I'm talking about the 100% thing. Okay, it will
Wow.
work.
100% ability to say if someone's the right person for you.
Yeah. And you know what? When you check them, and then let me know in the comment section whether they are working or not, because I test them before I say them. Okay. So, yeah.
You're
So,
giving us a big professional secret of yours here. Thank you so much.
like, you know what, especially when we are doing a consultation, we always get a question whether he's the one or not, whether she's the one or not. Okay. And if we get to know that, the life is sorted actually. So I will be telling whether she's the one or he's the one for sure within the session. Okay, that's a secret. I will let you know when it comes. Okay, so first of all, we all need to understand some basic rules for marriage. Okay, we know in a horoscope, seventh house is the house of marriage. And we also have seventh lord and karaka of the marriage. Okay, so they all need to be in align to analyze the concept of marriage. Okay, so first of all, we have the seventh house. Seventh house is something from where we see marriage, the promise of marriage, the coming of the marriage. Okay, and this is the house where the marriage is being governed. And if we talk about the karaka, the seventh lord, okay, seventh lord is the owner of the house. Seventh lord is responsible how to manage and what to manage within the marriage. If the seventh lord is unafflicted, it will manage the house, the marriage very well. If we see affliction on the seventh lord, okay, then we will see issues in our marriage.
So
And
basically, if the seventh house is good, it says, okay, there'll be a marriage. But if the seventh lord is bad, it says, okay, there'll be a marriage, but it will be.
yeah, so if seventh house is good, Okay, we see, okay, the promise of marriage here, you will be getting marriage, but how the marriage will go, that will be given by seventh lord and the karaka.
Oh, karaka
Okay,
means the significator, which is
okay,
Venus.
yeah. So I can have a very good home, but whether I will feel peace in the home or not, that is the thing. Okay, so next comes the karaka of the marriage. So the natural karaka of the marriage is Venus, whether it's a male or female for marriage. But we also have a different karakas for both of them for the spouse. For male, the karaka for spouse is Venus, and for female, the karaka for spouse is Jupiter. Okay, so karaka can be afflicted, but it should have some benefic relationships. If the karaka is not having the benefic relationship, okay, we are supposed to suffer
Hmm.
without. Okay, and this karaka is very important because karaka is the inner beauty of a marriage. It may not be a physical charm, but the caring attitude.
Hmm.
Okay, basically how we are interacting with our spouse, that is based on the karka.
Ah, if you're kind to each other and respectful, if you're calling each other names, and yeah.
So how we are interacting with the spouse, that is based on karka. So these are the three major important things. Now we see how the person will get into relationship, the ease of getting into relationship. Okay, so we need to check the relationship between the seventh lord and Venus. Okay, here I show you the seventh house is the karaka, and we check into how whether we can get into relationship or not. Okay, how easy we will get into relationship. The seventh lord of birth chart. Okay, meaning the lord of the seventh house will be the seventh lord and Venus. We have to check the relationship of both of them, how they are behaving. Specifically, we will be checking whether they are in mutually quadrants or trine or 311. Okay, that will be considered auspicious location for them.
We're using whole signs aspects here. Whole sign.
Vedic astrology, we use whole signs only.
Okay.
Simple as that. Because I don't really relate myself with one house sharing two signs, and I don't know what is that. Okay. So the relationship between Venus and seventh lord, okay, if they're mutually quadrant to each other, like one together or 1 7 or 4 10, okay, that is very auspicious, meaning we will get into a relationship easily. It will not be a struggle in getting into relationship. Okay, or
Yeah.
if they are trying 5 9 to each other, getting into a relationship will be easy. So
Mm.
we are just talking about getting into a relationship.
I can
When
totally confirm I have Venus conjunct the Lord of the seventh house, and I can't get over. I am always in relationships. It's so easy for me to get into a relationship.
and how the relationship will go, that is the next story. But how fast we can get into it, that is the Venus and seventh lord. Okay, whether they are in conjunction, whether they are in quadrant. Conjunction means they are in quadrant only. Whether they are in 5 and 9 axis, okay, that's trine, 3 laba, 3 11 axis.
What we
Which,
call sextile in Western astrology, if they're in signs that sextile each other.
yeah. So and 3 laba, 3 11. Okay, so with this there is a particular situation. There should not be a malefic influence. If there is a malefic influence, okay, then it may not turn the way we are expecting. But
Mhm.
if in malefic influence and benefic influence, then of course we are getting the auspicious result. Okay, but these two are really problematic. Okay, 212 and 6 8. 6 8, the real problem. You know what? Whenever I see 6 8, I actually think there is very difficult remedy for this. Very difficult to remedy this particular situation of 6 8.
Mhm.
Because you know what, think that what is the problem with 6 8 in latest slides, but this is very problematic. Dvidwadas means 212, sharing the houses next to each other. Okay.
Mhm.
Vidavadas and 6 8 is very problematic houses, I see. And
But
many,
they can still have a good marriage if the other things are okay. It's just they might have to wait years, or they're not getting to relationship easy.
yeah.
Mhm.
And that is how we see how the Navansha is playing, how the Karaka is playing in the Navansha, Karaka Lagna. So after that, those things come into play. But if we talk about the basic things, this is the pure science.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, my
And
husband has Venus, and his Lord of the seventh house, they're in 6 8, and a relationship to each other. And he's had just one relationship before me, and he was at 30 years of age. So it's not
what is
that,
it?
sorry,
What is his rising?
Libra,
Ascendant.
Libra.
Okay. So I was coming on that only because many of you will ask that what about Aries and Scorpio? Okay. This will be causing the same thing. Okay. So Aries and Scorpio will not cause a problem because the seventh house become Venus itself. And same goes for the Venus ascendant because now Venus become the most influencing planet in the horoscope.
Uh-huh. So because if you're ruled by Venus, you're a relationship person, basically.
Yeah, getting into relationship actually. So
Yeah.
that is the thing. And if we go to the Navansha, okay, if you look at, like you mentioned your spouse's horoscope, okay, if you look into the Navansha, there must be a cancellation of the combination. Okay, it is a must thing. Even if we see like okay, 6 8, and if the same 6 8 or worse than that is the Indian Navansha, it will not happen. This is a must theory.
Can I ask you then, when you're
Sure.
looking at the D9 chart, which is the Navamsha, the marriage chart, do you look at the ruler of the seventh from the nine divisional chart, or the ruler from the natal chart? You find it there, and Venus, how they relate?
So both of them will be calculated. Okay, so talking about this particular logic, we will be looking at the Venus and the seventh lord of the birth horoscope, checking their dignity in the Navansha
In the Navam, the dignity of their house relationship to each other.
relationship.
The
They
house.
are a relationship in the Navamsha because they can get into trines into the Navamsha when they're moving, or they can be in the quadrants. Okay, so which actually cancel out.
So if it's not canceled, does it mean you don't enter relationship, you don't get marriage?
No, it will be difficulties. This is not the denial of relationship. This is how easy we can get into relationship, how hard it is for us to get into relationship. Some people, they are just 35 or 40, but they don't have a relationship because of these combinations. They start dating somebody, they start seeing somebody, and soon they say, no, this is not the one I was looking for.
Mm.
Okay. So, and if the same combination we find the good combination in the B9, you like a person, you find the person attractive, and you approach them, and boom, you get into a relationship just like that. Some people, we see some people that, okay, I like this girl, I approached her, and we are dating now. So this combination make that as simple as that. Sometimes person is running after a girl or a man, okay, 5 years, 6 years, or 10 years, still they are not in the relationship because of this combination.
Oh my God. Okay, I get it. I get it now. Yeah.
Okay. Now, a tip for today. Very important tip. We get a question where I will find my partner. This is very important question. We get all the time. Okay. Almost 90% of the time in the consultation, whether the consultation is about marriage or not, it comes to that particular topic. Okay. So if our check the Venus and seventh Lord for Venus. Let's say if your Venus is in Cancer sign,
Okay.
okay, and seventh house from Venus will be what? Capricorn.
Mhm.
And seventh Lord from Venus will become Saturn.
Ah.
Okay. So check what kind of sign Saturn is placed, whether it's in fixed sign, whether it's in movable sign, or whether it's in dual sign.
So I just want to say movable sign in tropical zodiac, we call it cardinal. So
Okay.
cardinal and jewel, for the people I'm explaining, jewel is mutable, actually. The double sign is mutable. So movable is cardinal. So people know, yeah.
Hmm. So these three. If we find seventh lord from Venus, watch carefully, seventh lord from Venus in the movable sign, like say movable sign, travel far from the place. You will not find your spouse in your local locality
In a
or
cardinal sign meaning. Yeah.
cardinal sign. And if you find the person in their your local system, the person will be from the fireplace. Either of these will be working.
Oh my God, this is so true. My seven from Venus is Libra, so it's Venus again, the ruler. And my Venus is in Aries, cardinal sign. I found him on the other end of the world. Both my the other end of the
And if it is in the fixed sign, your partner is near to you, somewhere near to you. You don't have to travel far.
What
Okay.
about the
And
dual?
dual sign.
I'm so excited. It's so good.
So in dual sign, it will be mix of both of them. The person will be from the locality, might have been gone far. Okay, the bringing and brought up with must have been the fireplace and then come back. Okay, so it will be mix of both of them.
So
Okay,
they
and
can go either way for them.
either way, yes. Okay, so but you will find the partner. So this is I got 90 to 95% accuracy with this of this particular dictum, which is a very good accuracy.
Pretty much. So the seventh, you don't look at Venus's sign, you look at the Lord, the ruler from the sign opposite the Venus, what sign it is in, and you get the location. Amazing.
Yes. Okay. And but with this particular thing, I need to make it a little bit complex. Okay. If we are looking for 100% accuracy, okay. If you think that, okay, I don't want with the 90%, I just want 100% sure. You know what you do? You just find out if your birth chart is stronger or your D9 chart is stronger. Which one is ruling you actually? If you find that, you will get to know that what is actually be happening. So if you think that, okay, in the birth chart, it is in the fixed sign, but in the D9 chart is in the movable sign. You just need to figure out which one is stronger, both of the chart. Okay, that is little bit technical. Okay, it may not be very easy, but you need to see that which chart is stronger. Okay, you get that, look into that, you will get the right answer.
Mhm.
And get, I'm telling you 100%, almost. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, this is something very easy. And seventh house of the D1, okay, that will show the characteristics of the spouse.
Sorry. Can you repeat this again? So this is the seventh house of the natal chart. Okay, show D1 means the natal chart for people who don't know. Shows the characteristic of spouse and experience of marriage. Okay, good. So it's kind of, you can say he'll be rich or short, or she'll be something like that.
And let me tell you how it is being defined with the planets in the seventh house. Okay, so like say if we have Sun in the seventh house, okay, so the kind of spouse you will be getting is rowdy, goal-oriented, learned spouse. Okay, and she will be somebody who will be very ambitious in the nature, high status in with the family. Okay, that kind of spouse. And if we talk about moon, you get a fair complexion spouse who is very emotional spouse. And um, something about the seventh house, the people who have moon in the seventh house, I'm talking about a native here, not the spouse. Okay, the person who has moon in the seventh house, their friendship don't last for long.
The friendship with who?
In general, friendships.
Oh, I have moon in the seventh. I have friendship since kindergarten, and
Um, I guess.
but when I'm in a relationship, I'm all focused on the relationship and don't have time for friends. Maybe that's something else.
So you have moon in the seventh house basically. And okay, so your 11th house must be playing some very important role with the with the moon. Actually, that is what giving you friendship in deep manner.
Yeah, I have many long life friends well, I rarely see them, but we're
Mhm.
close and emotional and we share.
Yeah. So whenever Jupiter has that particular relationship with this particular moon, okay, or some 11th house or 4th house relationship with this moon, then the friendship actually lasts long. But if there's no these two areas are relating to this moon, then this is what I have experienced.
Mhm.
Okay. So Mars. Mars is something which is actually very difficult, strong, aggressive, short-tempered. Okay, a very solid personality of the spouse we get. And just one thing we need to take care about this particular Mars, because the spouse is very aggressive. If this Mars in the seventh house has only afflictions, okay, if they have only afflictions and no benefic relationship, okay, then there will be very problem in the marriage.
Mhm.
Okay? In
Oh.
something happened. Hold on.
Is usually then the spouse who is aggressive only, or is it the person themselves that they trigger this in their partner? So they themselves approach people in a more angry way.
Aggressive from the
Sorry?
background. They are actually aggressive from the background, like from their general approach toward the life is aggressive only.
That's the native of the chart.
Sorry,
As you're saying, this is the native who has a general aggressive approach in life, or the spouse?
spouse. Okay, so these characteristics are belong to the spouse actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fascinating. I'm gonna be checking the seventh Lord and Venus relationship now, and the seventh from Venus, and that's so cool.
Yeah, and that particular rule has very good, amazing accuracy. I
Mm.
have just yeah. Talking about the Mars, we were discussing about the Mars. So very important thing about the Mars,
Yeah.
if this Lord Mars is if the Mars is located in the seventh house and it is only having a malefic influence, not benefic influence, then you will find the spouse will be suffering with some health issues. And more malefic, sometimes it is also seen the spouse is short living. The longevity of the spouse is short.
Stroke?
Short.
Short. Ah, short. Okay.
Mars in the seventh house have a lot of affliction.
Would the afflictions, according to Vedic astrology, be
So
which
if
planet?
Saturn is aspecting, Rahu is aspecting, or either of them is sitting in the seventh house.
Okay.
Okay. And if Jupiter is not taking care of it, definitely the spouse health will be troubled or the longevity of the spouse will be gone.
And in Vedic astrology, Jupiter only makes an aspect by trine or conjunction or opposition.
Opposition as well. 5, 7, 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Venus, very important one. So first of all, Venus will be giving a very sensual spouse, okay, very artistic spouse, very loving, very beautiful and caring and well mannered. Especially this particular people will have very good, the people who have Venus in the seventh house, they will be giving, they will be having a spouse who is very well mannered. They know how to talk, they know how to behave in the society and everything. Okay. So that is the quality of Venus. It just for the native, whosoever has Venus in the seventh house, sometime it is being seen that if any little affliction coming to their seventh house Venus, they get some strange sexual appetite. They are falling partner a lot, other person a lot.
They're
Okay.
falling. Did you say they're falling their partner?
No, no. Suppose I have Venus in the seventh house. Okay. And if I see some affliction coming on the Venus, like let's say um, Rahu is aspecting Venus. So that is the affliction coming to it. Or you say Mars is aspecting from somewhere. If Mars is in malefic planet for the Lagna, then the person who has the native who has Venus in the seventh house, they will be having this sexual energy a lot.
Perverts. Nymphomaniacs.
So yeah. So they actually are pervert, you can call it. Okay. But talking about the spouse, these qualities are for sure artistic, very beautiful, and good mannered. And the spouse will be very skillful as well. Okay. Talking about the Mercury, the spouse will be youthful, very intelligent, very learned. Okay. Somebody who is very good with the logics and the facts and everything, very talkative. And again, the artistic spouse. Especially these people who have Mercury in the seventh house, they like their spouse to look youthful. Like if somebody is having Mercury in the seventh house and they are looking for a person who has a mature look on their face, no, that is not your kind of spouse. It will not, the native will lose interest very soon. Because as soon as they get into a relationship, the activation of the house will happen and they will not able to relate. Because Mercury is what? Youthful, the child, the prince of the horoscope.
Would they prefer younger partners or
Yes.
uh,
One
or
of the
not younger? They should at least be youthful in character, like. Mhm.
about Jupiter, I would say the person who has Jupiter in their seventh house, okay, they are lucky. They are actually blessed from their past life. Because no matter what your attitude is, the spouse will be supporting you always. No matter what is your attitude, how is your behavior, the spouse will be always supporting. Okay, the spouse will be very responsible, spiritual, and very intelligent. Okay, you can call it with the Jupiter in the seventh house, you are having a divine blessing who is managing your marriage. And this is what your past life, Punya, you can call it the past life deed, which is saving the marriage or giving you a supportive spouse.
And what
Okay.
happens if you have Jupiter, but some other planets there, they will mess up this blessing?
Yeah, they will, if you know what, if the alignment of um, good planets like Venus or Mercury or these benefic planets, okay, if moon is benefic, okay, then it will enhance the situation. And if malefics are coming up, they will kind of decrease the intensity of the combination.
Okay.
And some people may say that, okay, let's say Jupiter plus moon in the seventh house. Okay, this is very good. But we need to check whether the moon is benefic or malefic, because you know, in the waxing moon, the moon becomes benefic. In the waning moon, the moon becomes malefic. So we need to confirm whether the moon is behaving malefic or benefic. This is very important. Okay. Saturn. So we discussed the Mercury likes youthful spouse, youthful partner. On the opposite, the people who have Saturn in their seventh house, they kind of have attraction towards the matured spouse. Okay, the spouse who act maturely, who have their look as a mature person or older to their age. But especially the kind of spouse we get very traditional, very workaholic. These kind of people get their spouse who is thinking about sorting the stuff, organizing the stuff, or working on something all the time. Okay, so and we need to just one more thing. We need to look whether the Saturn is benefic planet for the ascendant, for the rising, that particular horoscope, or the malefic. Because if Saturn becomes malefic for that particular ascendant, then this can really cause a lot of issues. And especially when we have Saturn in the seventh house, it delays marriage or relationship to a very high level.
After what age normally?
Basically, till age 31, it's very difficult.
Oh, then nowadays in Western world, it's who gets married before 30?
Whenever we are talking about astrology, we need to see three things. Desh, Kal, Patra. This is a Hindi word. Desh means the location. Kala means the time. And the Patra means eligibility. So we need to see what kind of location we are talking about. Okay. And what kind of time we are talking about. If we move 100 years back, okay, the marriages was very less. Okay. And especially like in the movie, say fair complexion. The fair complexion of UK is different, US is different, India is different, and others place are different.
So
Okay.
Saturn in a Western, say Saturn is in the chart of a woman living in the West in a big city nowadays, that might delay even till after 40.
And 40 is actually delayed. That's not soon.
Yeah.
Just can you pause the recording?
Yes, just a second.
So yeah, Saturn has that tendency to delay the relationship or marriage. Okay. And we have to see that what location we are talking. Okay. In West, 31, if I say it, that's okay. But in India, it's late. And maybe somewhere else it's too late. Okay. So we need to see that depending on the circumstances and time. Rahu. This is something very dicey. Okay. First of all, to study Rahu, we need to study the Lord of the Rahu together. Without studying the Lord of Rahu, we are not coming on the right analysis at all. Okay. So, especially just like Mars, Rahu also give short-tempered spouse, aggressive spouse, and the spouse who want to stay in the center of the fame. Like they always get a spouse who needs attention, actually. Okay. So that is there. And if Jupiter is not related, or some other benefic planet is not related, okay, or the Lord of Rahu is not related with any benefic planet, okay, people can also develop enmity toward the spouse, depending on the dasha we are talking. This is seen almost quite often. Okay, for a period of time, they struggle with um, the relationship. It can heal depending on the dasha changing, but this is definitely seen. Okay.
Both me and my husband have Rahu conjunct the seventh house, and we both had previous marriages because we were fighting too much with them. But our lords are exalted. Both his lord of Rahu and my lord of Rahu are exalted. So it's really good right now. 7 years so far.
Typically, the seventh house will be working for first marriage only.
Oh,
For second, we see different house.
okay.
Maybe we can put that in next session.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah. So Jupiter grace either in the D9 chart or the D1 chart and your Navamsha or birth chart, okay, will actually alter a lot of stuff. Okay. So Jupiter grace is something which is very important in the marriage. Because you know what, Jupiter is the Devaguru Bharaspati. Okay. The teacher to the gods. Okay. Bharaspati. So its intention is to save the marriage and to produce child. Okay, because it's a karaka of the fifth house. So the fifth house will only come into the picture if people are getting married. Okay, so Jupiter, we are talking constantly. Jupiter is expecting, Jupiter is saving, Jupiter this and that, because that is a job of Jupiter. Whether the Jupiter is the karaka of the horoscope or not, but it will definitely manage the seventh house as
So
much as it can.
if Jupiter is also in the seventh or in the first, from where it's sending an aspect, or in the 11th or third, even if
Mhm.
Rahu is in the seventh, it can save the marriage.
It can save the marriage. Okay, if other factors are not playing any serious role in that. Okay, and also if because of Rahu the problem is going on and we see the transit aspect is coming on the seventh house, at that particular time we can remedy that Rahu and marriage will be saved. I have tested this with the help of transit also. We can save the marriage.
I have
But
heard that in India, when people have Rahu in the seventh and they really love each other and it's going to be their first marriage, they marry once, divorce, and they marry again. So it's like their second marriage.
no, actually that happens in two factors, in Mars also, in Rahu also. So what that we call it, necessarily not marrying each other. What they do, the girl, the bride, okay, then they have a marriage of a bride to some you can say tree, okay, or a pot. Ghat Vivaha we are talking about. Okay, so we just ask them to marry with the Vishnu, okay, and then marry again. So
Ah,
that the problem of this Mangal dosha and the Rahu dosha, okay, that cancels out. So first marriage is gone. Now we are into the second marriage. And also a very tested dictum, somebody is having Rahu in their seventh house. Okay, and they are not getting into relationship. They are not able to they are not able to get married. What they do, instead of looking for a partner who is who never had a relationship or who is not married, look for a partner who is divorced. You will have a marriage soon.
mhm.
That is a cause. So there are a lot many layers to it, but yeah, this is one of them. Talking about Ketu. Ketu actually causes disinterest in the marriage area. Ketu says, no, 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 no. This is something we have done in the past life. We are not falling in that trap again. Okay. I'm the moksha karaka. Let's talk about the moksha. I don't want to get married again and then let's get into marriage again, because marriage is what? Marriage is a rinana bandhana, the biggest that we carry from the past life. Okay, because we are supposed to share life together, so this is, we are supporting each other. This is the biggest that we carry from the past life. Okay, that is why it is said the uh, husband and wife, they are not meeting in on this earth, they are meeting in the heaven. Okay, the marriage is done in the heaven because we have to complete, we have to fulfill that. And Ketu says, I am done with that particular theory. I don't want to create a new debt. Let's talk about the moksha. Let's talk about the meditation. And we are not. So that is a thing. It happens with the Ketu.
Yeah.
Okay. And first of all, that is why, first of all, getting into relationship will be a problem. Okay. Or if they get into relationship, the person will lose interest about the partner very soon.
Till they
Okay.
pay
So
off the karmic debt. It stays together till they pay off the karmic debt, and then.
yeah.
What if you
And
don't have any planets in the seventh?
sorry,
What if you have no planets in the seventh? How do you judge for the first spouse?
I'm coming on that. And like we discuss Rahu and Ketu. So basically, if we have Rahu, we can remedy this Rahu with worshipping Durga. If we worship Durga, we can overcome the problem caused by Rahu. The Devi, we can call it, the Divine Mother.
So in Western world, that might be worshiping Mother Mary, some female aspect of the divine.
Correct? Correct. Okay. And with Ketu, you worship Ganesha.
What would that be in a Western world?
Hmm. In that case, we actually tell them to support the old age homes
Ah,
or the orphan. Okay, that will be the remedy for Ketu.
Hmm. Okay, that's a
And specifically, if because sometimes this particular thing is not available, helping the animal shelter will be the best remedy for Ketu. Animal shelter, I'm talking.
perfect. So those
Okay.
in need, yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, Vedic astrology is all about altering the karma. What is the alteration of the karma? We create a new karma, okay, which is balancing our past life karma. Okay,
Mm.
that is what we call remedies. So you ask a question that what if we don't have planets in the seventh house, meaning seventh house is vacant. Look for the planets aspecting the seventh house.
That's the more important. Say if there is Mars in the first house or Saturn in the 10th sign, 10th house, it will make an aspect. We're looking at the Vedic aspects here. I just want to make sure to people. And in the Vedic aspect, all planets aspect if they're in the opposite sign. So any planet in the first house will give its character to the seventh if there is no planet there. Jupiter in either in the 11th or the third sign from the ascendant. That would be its aspect. It only makes trine aspect by sign. And Saturn, if it's in the 10th sign from the ascendant, is aspecting, or if it's in the fifth sign, if it's in the fifth house, is also aspecting, or in the first, of course. And Mars, if it's in the fourth, isn't it?
Seventh house,
Or fourth, or
12th. So from the eighth aspect in the seventh house.
okay.
And one more thing, let me tell you something. We see seventh house for the promise of marriage. Okay. So promise of marriage is a one thing. Success of marriage is a different thing. Okay. To see whether we will have success in the marriage, will be successful or not. We are not looking at the seventh house. We are looking at the fourth house. Okay. Because success is seen from the 10th house. So if you talk about you, what house is making you succeed? Your 10th house. Okay, so fourth house is the 10th house from the seventh house. Let's talk about the second house. Second house is what? Wealth. Okay, you are not working, you have good wealth from inheritance or whatever we can call it. If you are not working, you will be draining that wealth over the period of time. To support that particular balance of wealth, what we need? We need 11th house.
Earning.
If we have a good income, then our second house is supported. So 11th house is 10 from the second house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And similarly, seventh house, if we see 10 from the seventh house is the fourth house. There is one thing. And we see why the long distance relationship don't work actually. Because they are not sharing home. What is fourth house? Fourth house is the home. That is a real cause of marriage which are in long distance relationship are not working or relationship are not working because the home element is missing. The fourth house is missing. How you will be succeed in the marriage, success in the marriage. You see? So this is another thing. If our fourth house is afflicted, you will be having issues in this marriage. It is all related. Okay.
Brilliant. I'm
Yeah.
learning so many new things. Thank you. And I want to tell everyone, Himanshu will be teaching for us. He'll be teaching us. He's a treasure trove of knowledge.
Thank you. Not treasure, but yeah, I'm learning.
And humble.
So now comes to the promise of marriage. Let's talk about that in more detail. We discussed the seventh house is the house of marriage. Why this is the house of marriage? Because Shukra is a karaka and Shukra is the lord of seventh house, natural zodiac sign. Okay. So seventh house will be the promise of marriage. This is where we see marriage coming, an event of marriage. Okay. The oath taking of marriage will be seen from the seventh house. That is what we see promise. Okay. When we take oath, when we do court marriage or getting the certificate, that is the
What, what,
seventh house.
what if you live with someone and you have a child, but you're not married? Many couples are like that. Is it seventh house of it?
Let me tell you the circumstances under what you are getting the child or how long you are living with the person. Like suppose if you're living more than 3 years, okay, at least uh the two Jupiter, um, the passing of two Jupiter signs, okay, then it's fine. But it's not about like you have a child with somebody and you are not living with that. You just stay with that person for a year. You have a child and you are separated. That's not a marriage. We call it a situationship, most likely. Okay. So yeah. So because you know what, oath can also be like you promise in front of everybody. Of course, the pastor is not there or you don't have a certificate, but socially it is a oath taking. You call it you as a husband and wife. That is also marriage. Okay. Because in back there, this is what the system was.
Okay. So committed relationships in the West where the couple lives together, even if they're not married, is a seventh house thing already. If they've been living longer than 2 years, they have a child and still live together.
Yeah. Because basically their social status is married.
Oh my God, I must be on my sixth marriage then.
Don't forget, I will be, I remember I tell you that how to check whether we are going to marry with the person or not. Don't forget to check in your horoscope and let me know.
Yeah.
The audience may tell me in the comment section. I'm so sure about it. Okay. Another thing, finding a spouse doesn't actually need meaning we are getting married. Okay. Like that is the importance of the seventh house. Okay. And promise of marriage should be there. And the promise also seen majorly from the seventh house. And one more thing, Upa Lagna, UL. Oh, it's here. But Lagna, UL. We see UL to confirm the promise of marriage. One is seventh house, UL. Okay. And for the audience who don't know what is UL, this is the Arudha Pada of the 12th house. And what we do in that, we count, we see the Lord of the 12th house and see where it is located. Like say 12th Lord is located in the 4th house. So it is 5 houses away from the 12th house. We count 5 more houses from the 4th house. We end up in the 8th house. So 8th house will become our Upada Pada or Upad Lagna, you can call it. We make that 8th house Lagna and then check what is happening there. So Upad Lagna and 7th house both will be telling us how easy we can get married and what is the nature of the marriage. Okay, whether the marriage promise is there or not. But there is exception in this. If we end up in the 12th house or in the 6th house, in the 1-7 axis of 12th house, okay, we need to move 10 houses from where we end. Like if 12th house in the 12th lord in the 12th house, we just move 10 houses from the 12th house, we end up in the 9th house. That will be our Upad Lagna. Okay, if we end up in the 6th house, we move 10 houses and we will be ending in the 3rd house. That will become our Upad Lagna. Okay, so take these both things, Upad Lagna and 7th house, you will have a crystal clear picture whether the promise of marriage is available or not. As simple as that. Okay. Second thing. So we are done with the promise of marriage. Let's see the quality of marriage. So 7th house can be unoccupied, can be unexpected. It can have malefic relationship. But if it is having malefic relationship, it must have a benefic relationship. Otherwise, the quality of marriage will be missing. Okay. Even the 7th lord or the Lagna lord, they are malefic in nature for that particular horoscope. But if they're having that particular relationship with the 7th house, the promise of marriage is there. Even the association of one benefic will definitely result in the marriage. Okay, depending the quality of marriage is a second thing, but it will be there. Now this particular point is very important. we check the first house and seventh house for the D9 horoscope, Navamsha horoscope. Okay, it must have some benefic relationship, benefic association for a person to desire marriage or relationship. If the lagna or the seventh house of D9 chart is having malefic relationship, the person may not desire for the marriage. I'm talking about the marriage. Will be having relationship to relationship to relationship.
What would be a meaning that first house or seventh house in D9 has malefic relationship? If it has a difficult planet in the first or seventh of the
Yeah.
ninth division? No? Okay.
Yeah. Or the Lord is with difficult plan of the D9 chart specifically. And to see the quality of marriage, actually, we see the karaka like before. Okay, promise is done. The karaka will tell us what is happening with the quality of marriage. If the karaka is associated with malefics, with malefics I means Saturn, Rahu, Mars, Ketu, okay, or the moon, in some cases. If the karaka is associated with malefics, okay, it can be debilitated, that is okay. But association of malefics, okay, that will definitely give problems in the marriage. Unless the benefic planet is taking care of it.
So the karaka is Venus for men, Jupiter for women.
Yes. Okay. More malefic association with the seventh house, more benefic association with the seventh house will improve the quality of marriage. Okay. And more malefic will decrease the quality of marriage. And you check the D9 for both of these, D1 and D9, you will get the intensity of the combination. Okay. Now, we need the quality. The quality is good. We get the promise, but there's one more thing: sustenance. How long we can enjoy the marriage. Okay. So eighth house of birth chart, okay, will tell us the sustenance of marriage. Let me tell you why. And the second house of Upad Lagna. I explain you what is Upad Lagna. Okay.
Mhm.
So the second house, second house from the seventh house is eighth house. Okay. And we call it the wealth in birth chart, the second house. Similarly, the sustenance of seventh house will be seen from the second from seventh house, which comes to the eighth house. Okay. And because Upat Lagna is the Lagna itself, we are checking the not seventh house of Upat Lagna for sustenance. We are checking the second house from the Lagna itself of Upat Lagna. That will give us the crystal clear picture of marriage quality, whether it will sustain or it's gonna break. The longevity, basically, I'm talking of marriage. Got it?
Mhm. That's
So
a
yeah,
bit more advanced astrology, but
just try to listen it again. I'm talking about the audience. They will get to know the real grips. Okay. Another thing for sustenance, actually, this is again something very crystal clear, I would say, particular dictum. Okay. Check the kind of sign our seventh house is in. Okay. Again, if the seventh lord is in fixed sign, movable sign, or dual sign, try to find a partner with the same association. Like if I'm having my seventh lord, I'm talking the seventh lord in a fixed sign. Okay. Then I should marry a partner who is having their seventh lord in the fixed sign. Why? Because the seventh lord, the nature, the sign they are in, that will be the approach of the marriage. Okay. And if we marry with the same approach partner, the understanding of the marriage will go very good.
Mhm.
Okay. So having a different thing, like somebody is seventh lord is in the fixed sign and the other partner's seventh lord is in the movable sign, that's a conflict. then we will need to do with some remedy. But if they are in the same sign, same cardinal signs, that's fine. And even it's a better. And what happens when one is in the fixed sign, one is in the movable sign? Dual sign can manage. Okay. But when we have these two people, these are the people who complain. My partner is not able to understand me. My
Mm.
partner, understanding partner. And if we talk to both of them, they both are saying the same thing because their approach is different, their partner approach is different. And if we see somebody is fixed sign, another one is dual sign, they are likely to manage because dual sign has some quality of fixed and mover sign also. This is very accurate. You can check as many charts you want to.
Yeah, both me and my husband have ruler of 7 in cardinal movable sign. We
Yeah.
don't fight, we get along really well.
So, and the people who are not having this particular combination, you will see that okay, they're having different opinion all the time.
Yeah, we always think the same. We even like sometimes it's so annoying. We always are on the same opinion for everything.
Yeah, you now you know that what is helping that.
Mm,
Uh-huh.
wow.
Let's talk about an example. Okay, this is a horoscope of Kamala Nehru. Let me tell you who was she. She was a wife of first Prime Minister of India.
Oh,
Okay, okay. She was a wife of first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. First of all, let's check what is happening in the seventh house. So Saturn is there. We need to see whether Saturn is a benefic planet or not for this particular horoscope. This is benefic.
rules 9th and 10th houses.
Okay, let me mark here as well.
The numbers are the signs, guys. So 2 means on the ascendant Taurus. 11 is
So no, according to the Western
okay,
style,
wait.
this is the ascendant here.
Okay, so Leo ascendant.
Yeah, Leo ascendant. Okay, so yeah, so Saturn becomes a benefic planet for this particular lagna, and of course, the exalted moon is expecting. Exalted moon is expecting to the seventh aspect.
I don't get it. These are two different charts. One has Venus and Moon in the ascendant. The other one has just the moon.
Oh, sorry. Um, Actually, this is a chart in the next slide, so there is some problem here.
So we'll look just at the left chart.
Yeah. Kindly excuse me for this. Okay, let's focus on this. Sorry, it happens.
No, no worries.
Yeah. So moon, exalted moon is expecting the Saturn. Okay. And Saturn being the very benefic sign, it is in the seventh house. So we can see the promise of marriage for sure. Okay. But this is retrograde Saturn. This is questioning the quality of marriage. The marriage lasted, but the quality of marriage was not good.
So
And
retrograde
there's some
pattern is worse, you mean? It's more difficult?
actually it's although retrograde Saturn is very good all that time. Okay. But this Saturn is a benefic planet for this particular lagna. That's why it's causing the problem. Okay. For this particular lagna, Taurus, I mean. And there's something very interesting about this particular horoscope. The moon and Venus, they are expecting the 11th house. So this is also giving the promise of marriage.
In D9, in Navamsha.
Yeah. But again, now you see Mars and Saturn together.
Mm.
They both are very hard enemies. That's why the quality of marriage is being affected. They were never divorced, but the quality of marriage was not good at all. Another thing, you see, Venus is with Sun. Like I told you, karaka is of marriage is Venus. And look at this Jupiter. For her, the karaka will be the marriage, Venus, and the spouse will be Jupiter. So it is in the sixth house. Again, Jupiter getting problem here and Venus with the Sun. So the quality is being affected.
Yeah.
Okay? So these are the stuff we just discussed.
And Sun is malefic in Vedic astrology, or in conjunction, because it burns.
Yes. For
They-
specific, so this is a water tattva, na? This is fire, this is water. That's why they are getting issues.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, here we go. The delays and denial of the marriage. We discussed this. The affliction on the seventh house will definitely give delay in marriage. More affliction, more delay. And these are the people, sometimes people are getting married at the age of 50 because they are having a lot of affliction on their seventh house.
Mm.
Okay. And affliction on Venus will indicate bad behavior of the spouse. And this affliction can also be with the drishti, the aspect.
Aspect.
Okay. There are two kind of aspect. One is Rashi, another is Graha, planetary aspect. We will discuss these things later. This is the permanent one, this is temporary one. So if we have just a Graha malefic aspect, it will go by the dasha. But if it is a Rashi aspect, then it will actually take some time and some serious remedies are required. But
Mhm.
affliction of Venus will definitely show that, okay, the spouse may not value our emotion, may not value our intentions or whatever it is. Okay.
So the Rashi aspects by sign, these are the aspects. Yeah, they're permanent, not permanent, but they take a life to to work on.
Yep.
And the
It's on.
Graha one, the planetary aspects, they switch on and off.
Yes. With the dasha, the planetary period. Now, one more thing. Denial also happens because of disinterest. If the D9 Lagna is afflicted, okay, we discussed this before also, the person loses interest in the relationship. Okay. And if both seventh house of D1, D9 are afflicted by two or more malefics, it can also show denial of marriage. So seventh house, we have to check in both D1 chart and D9 chart. Okay. And if it is afflicted by two or more malefics in both of the charts, that is a definite denial of marriage.
And that's with Graha aspects. And
Yeah, we can take Graha and Rashi both,
yeah. Oh,
but it has to be in the both of the horoscope, not just one.
okay, then only marriage is denied.
Yeah, there are other combination which are applicable just in birth chart, but we are not discussing them here because they are complex.
And even if they're benefics in the seventh house of the NATO or nine or Navamsha, but if they're more than two malefic aspecting from somewhere, it's a denial.
Always the benefic, even just one benefic aspect will try to give positive results.
Okay.
Let me show you an example of this. Yeah, this is a chart. Okay, fine. So this is a client who was none for 9 years. And she took a reading from me in 2020. Okay. And it was like 4 5 years since she um, gave up the nunhood. Okay, but she was nun for 9 years. And She said that she just wanted to plan her life. And I said, what about a marriage? She said, I don't want to get married. But I could see a clear indication of marriage in this horoscope. I said, you will get married for sure. 100%. She was not believing me. Okay. I said, okay, don't worry. Let's talk in 2022. Okay, but she's a regular client, so she take every advice from me. But this particular thing which I told her, she was agreed on everything. But marriage, she didn't agree at all. She said that because I didn't want to get married, that's why I became a nun. And but I didn't like the concept of the religion of Christianity, so I gave up and started practicing Buddhism and Hinduism and whatever she likes. Okay, she said I don't want to get married. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't have interest in men at all, neither in women. So I said, I don't know. I'm not bringing a spouse for you, but you will. So the year passed. She got married last year. She
Ah,
found her 2022.
and how did you see she'll get married?
This particular stuff, Jupiter.
Mm.
And then Venus is being trying to seventh lord. You see?
Mhm.
And she is a Christian who practiced Christianity for very serious Christianity for 9 years. She married to Islamic person. Why that happened? This Mars of being the eighth lord brought that partner from the far land of South Africa. Okay. And here they go.
Mm.
You see,
Why is the eighth lord will bring a partner from far?
I just told you, movable signs, far. This is a dual sign, seventh lord in the dual sign. You
Se-
see?
okay, dual sign.
Yeah. And um, I also told you about seventh lord from Venus. That's in the dual sign.
Okay.
It's working here. And they got married last year, April 2023.
Yeah.
She was, I guess, 47 years old when she got married.
Mm.
47 or 48. Why this much delay happened? This was her first marriage. This Mars is also her Atma Karaka. Atma Karaka is something which gives very high binding of everything. So that wherever the Atma Karaka will sit, we will find binding from that particular house. Whenever we see Atma Karakas in the seventh house, we experience binding in the area of seventh house.
Binding, did you say?
Yeah,
Binding.
yeah.
It will happen. So Atmakaraka, just to tell to people, this is the planet with the highest degree in the horoscope. From
Atma
the
Karaka, soul planet.
sorry?
Atma Karaka means the soul planet. So that is why it is carrying lot of past life baggage with our soul. Okay. So the planet who has the highest degree, that is Atma Karaka.
So people who have the soul planet in the seventh house, they marry
It's not they marry. I said they will have issues in the marriage. I'm
because they carry a lot of stuff from past lives. Ah,
yes.
okay.
Because wherever we see the soul planet is sitting, whatever the house, we are supposed to have binding about that particular house. Serious binding.
Binding, what does it mean binding?
Not
Problems? Burning. Ah,
okay.
burning.
I have my Atma Karaka in the ninth house. Okay. I lost my father in very early age.
Oh, okay.
Wherever this Atma Karaka is there, this is definitely not a malefic planet. It's just wherever it goes, it gives some hardship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is a very interesting chart. Okay. She got married at the age of 47 or 48, I guess. And because of this particular Jupiter. Okay. And why she changed her uh, religion? She was a nun, but then she started practicing Hinduism. She was practicing Hinduism even before meeting me. Okay, because this Ketu over here.
South
And
Node, the ninth
yeah,
house, to let go of old belief.
and then Lord. So they are playing with the ninth house, the house of religion and beliefs. Okay. Now let's talk about some serious stuff. Matching the horoscope. Okay, this is the main part of everybody's life, whether the person is for us or not. How to match the horoscope. Okay. And this particular topic has something which have multiple diversities. You move to any religion, any area of the world, you will have a different kind of techniques to match the horoscope. And in the West, the most used one is they match sun signs. What is the sign of sun in her chart? What is the sign of sun in his chart? And they just go with that. This is a very, I don't know how they come with this particular dictum because it is not written in any classics. Okay, so basically what is sun? Sun is again the natural Atma Karaka, the soul planet. The sun is describing our personality, our own personality, but we are attracted to somebody else's personality. So for that particular thing, we are not supposed to take Atma Karaka, we take Dara Karaka. Dara Karaka is just opposite to the Atma Karaka. Atma Karaka is somebody with the highest degree. Dara Karaka is somebody with the lowest degree. So Dara Karaka is something we should be focusing on somebody else's horoscope. Or in India, the most common method they use, that is matching the moon sign. Of course, that is one of the step in matching the horoscope, but that is not a primary step to follow. Okay, they match the nakshatra and they have a score of Ashtakuta out of 36. Okay, that is the standard thing. You just open the app, put the birth details in, and you get to know that how many numbers you get out of 36, and then you go with the marriage and then face the difficulties. So, because again, moon is our approach. We need to match the lagnas, the rising,
Yes,
because
sir.
that is something which indicates the acceptance, whether we are meant for that or not. Okay, marriage is something, like I just said, it's a divine blessing. Our rising should accept that blessing. Okay, combination in the rising should accept that blessing. The rising should be ready to accept it. Okay, so then we can have okay actual horoscope that we are talking. Okay, moon can be a secondary thing. The primary thing, the primary matching should be done by the risings.
The path you're walking on is your
Yeah.
ascendant on this
Yes.
life. It should align well with the other partner.
Yeah. Yeah. So
You're saying this is the most important matching technique to check if the ascendants are in good aspect to each other, basically.
yeah. And also, you know what? There's one more technique the people talk about. They actually superimpose the both of horoscopes.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't know what they're doing with that. Okay, some irrelevant planet in her chart is making relationship with the planet of 7,000 in my chart, and how it is affecting the marriage. I really don't know why we are superimposing the horoscope. Okay, Uh, this is a very modern kind of technique. It is not being used in past, even in the Western astrology. This is just coined newly. Okay, superimposing the horoscope, and then I don't know how they get it. Okay, there is no relevance, but this particular technique is mentioned in every classics. Okay,
That's a very simple technique, but you say it gives like 90% correctness. Is that what you told me?
hold your horses. That's coming.
Ah, okay. Something else, okay.
Okay, because then the charm of this technique will go away. Okay, because that is again the basic stuff. Okay, because why this is important, we will get to know that technique can tell us whether we will get to marry with that person or not, how we will get married, what kind of marriage that will be, whether we should marry or not, that will be told by this particular system which you already know. Okay, we must avoid this following lagnas, the following ascendants. If we are having, our ascendants are having 6 8 x6 to each other, meaning somebody is a Cancer rising, okay, and marrying with the Aquarius rising, that's a big no.
Mhm.
That's a big no. Okay. Or somebody is a Cancer rising, marrying with the Sagittarius.
Mhm.
No thing. Okay. Because if they are in 6 9 to each other, they are in 6 8 to each other, we are supposed to face difficulties with that particular person.
Mm.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Similarly, if somebody is in Taurus rising, okay, and one is Libra for them, another is Sagittarius for them, that is again a no thing. But Libra will work for them because they are sharing the same Lord. That
Venus.
is X.
Oh, yeah.
And if we talk about the Virgo thing, Virgo cannot marry Aries. That's a very horrible combination for them.
Mm.
Or they cannot marry Aquarius. That is again a very difficult combination for them.
Virgo and rising with Aries or Aquarius rising. No, no.
They are 6 8 to each other. Okay. 6 8 is the very difficult position. Everything else can be remedied, but 6 8 cannot. Okay. The person, the native has to go to very high level of remedies, some serious remedy, then only they get a way out. And most of the time, astrologers are not getting a confidence whether the remedy will be working or not. Because let me tell you why it is so difficult. What is sixth house? Sixth house is depth. Eighth house is death. So what you are bringing with that, you're bringing baggage. And sixth house is again enemies also. We should not forget. So basically, we are marrying with our enemy actually. And marrying with the eighth house thing, what we are bringing to our life, the death kind of energy for us. The person is not carrying the death energy, but that energy is not good for us. That's why we are having problems all the time. The people who come to you with the 6 8 axis, and doesn't matter how hard you try, whatever the marriage consultation they take, it not gonna work.
Wow.
It simply will not work. The only thing which can save, you go to a sadhu or a monk or a saint and say, the marriage is not working, but we still want to stay in the marriage. Please give us some outstanding blessings. No astrologer, I think, can help you other than these sadhu and monk guys, because they are somebody who are away from the material life. Okay. Or you should have some very good guru, or you can worship Shiv. Very easy thing. Only Shiv can support you to get out of this particular problem, because Shiva is the destroyer out of the three murtis.
By
This is,
getting divorced, will get you out of it.
yeah. And you know what? Shiva, this will be Shiva. who is the god of Yama and who can stop Yama to come to break the marriage. Okay, so you should be a very hard worshipper of Shiva. Okay, find a good nice mantra of a Shiva from astrologer. Okay, and start doing that mantra. You can get out of this particular problem. Otherwise, I don't know what to do. So there are few exceptions to this particular axis. One is if your ascendant is Aries, okay, then you can marry Scorpio. If your rising is Taurus, you can marry Libra. Okay, only these 6, 8, or 8 axis will be working. And one more interesting thing which I have studied somewhere, that is, if Cancer is a rising, Sagittarius can also work. And I have tested it, it's actually working. Why? The only one condition which can work if that person is having exalted Jupiter.
If the Sagittarius rising person.
Yes, exactly.
Jupiter in Cancer, basically.
Because then the Cancer will align. So marriage for the Sagittarius person will be fine. That will be okay, good. But again, the pain will be on the Cancer person. Because for that particular guy, it's still that energy and enemy energy. But for the other person, it is improved. That's no more that energy because Jupiter is getting exalted. The Lagna Lord is getting exalted in their rising. So this is a little bit of the exceptions of this particular stuff. Okay. Now comes to the Dvidvadash. This is Sadashtaka, this is Dvidvadash. 212 axis. Again, very problem. 212. So you see what happens with the 212. 12th house is what? Expenditure. Just like we were bringing the debt and debt energy in the Sadashtak 6-8 axis, we are bringing the expenditure energy here. Okay. One is being the person who is earning the money all the time, earning everything all the time. And the second person is using that particular balance. Okay. It's a problematic. Another thing which, if you try to relate, in these kind of risings, Gandanta happens. What is Gandanta? Combination of fire sign and water sign. Okay, that is not a combination at all. That is a problem because whenever fire and water mix up, we know what happens.
Steam.
4 out of the 12 signs will be in Gandanta. I will show you in a bit. Okay, on a slide. So this is what happened. 12th house is also the house of moksha. Moksha only happens when we have disinterest of everything.
Moksha
So,
is spiritual liberation, yes?
Yeah. So when we have disinterest of everything, we get to the moksha. So when we are marrying with somebody who is comes in our 12th house, what is happening? We are getting this detachment energy, in energy of disinterest. That's why it's not working. You are not attracted to that particular person anymore as soon as you receive the tag of marriage.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Very logical, according to classics. Okay. And soon what happens with these people, they start feeling detached to each other because of this particular energy they are sharing.
Either one is always giving too much and the other is taking. Usually the one
Yes.
who is the one that gives, and usually the one who's ascendant.
The 12th, like suppose, let's take an example of Aries and Pisces.
And I repeat again, we're talking ascendants only here.
Yes, totally ascendant. This is ascendant matching, okay? So the devaluation, the Pisces will not value the money of the Aries one, mostly. Okay. In 70% of the cases, this is happening this way. Okay. One is just being the ATM machine for another person. I won't say the gold digger, but just valuing the hard-earned money of the other one is missing. The person is not a gold digger at all. I'm not claiming that. Okay. It's just the respect for somebody's effort is missing.
Mhm. So whoever's ascendant is here, and if someone else's ascendant falls in your 12th house, you have expenditures with this person, or
And
you're giving and it's falling like in a well without a bottom.
yeah, one person is draining the money of other person. Okay. And let me show you with what is happening actually in the Dvidodash. Okay. Just look at this chart. So you look at these are the Gandhanta signs. This is a fire sign, and this is what? The water sign. Okay. So if these two are getting married, this is a combination of fire and water. Nobody want that because they don't work at all under no circumstances. Similarly, this is happening with that Cancer and Leo. Okay. The same thing is happening with Sagittarius and Scorpio.
So these are the worst combinations: Pisces and Aries ascendant, Cancer and Leo ascendant, and Sagittarius and Scorpio ascendant.
Do the other shit. Now there's more to it. If you closely look at the Libra and Virgo, so one sign is debilitating the another one. Okay, because the Lord of Libra is what? Venus, and this is working as a debilitation for Venus.
Mhm.
And same happen in Sagittarius and Capricorn. So there's proper logic why it's not working. It's not just like the logic of death and death in the sixth set, there's a logic why it is not working. Just these two axes, Capricorn and Aquarius, they are okay. They are fine because the Lord is same. So that is not a problem. So that is the exception of Dvidadash.
I can totally confirm this, even though it's not about the relationship of marriage, but my son and daughter, she's Sagittarius rising, he's Scorpio rising. They're like water and fire. They'll kill each other. Like, I don't wish such marriage on anyone. But I think it will work though to have friendships like that. But we're talking marriage here.
Yes. Because you know what? Friendship is for limited period. You can stay with your friend for particular period of time, but you're not sharing your bed with your friend. Okay. And yeah, this is all about Dvidadash. Any questions, Lada?
No, this is so fascinating. So Aquarius
Not
is safe. Aquarius is safe.
they're out of the picture.
Yeah.
And their Lord is being afflicted by something else. So that is a different picture that happens with everything. Yeah. Now we have one more thing that is called trines, 5 and 9 axis. What about these? Many people will think, oh, this is a very auspicious one. There's no problem with that. But if you see what is your fifth house from your rising, your children. What is in your ninth house from your ascendant? That is your father or guru, teacher. So
So
basically, what we're talking in this particular thing, this is not a worse combination, but people will be feeling generation gap. One will be saying, oh, my spouse is acting child all the time. And another will say that the spouse is bossy all the time. So this is a generation gap we are talking. It's not a malefic one. It's not a bad one. We can remedy it, but we will see these issue for a period of time unless both of them over the period come on the same plane and okay, they can work from now on. Okay.
That's not a deal breaker, but it can be like, oh, one is the parent, the other one is the kids at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
I
not something
I
you
have
can.
my husband, and he
Okay.
sometimes he thinks he has 3 kids.
Yeah. So, okay. But this can be remedied, or this can actually improve by the period of time. This is not something that person should avoid because of this combination. But these two guys,
Yeah.
this is totally unacceptable unless we have the exceptions of these particular combinations. Now, this is the good ones. Let's talk about the good ones. Trilabha. Trilabha means 3 and 11. Labha means 11th house is the house of gain. That's why we got Labha. 3 and 11. This is a very good. You know what? This is something which is very auspicious. You can easily choose it. But actually, you know what happens? People may think, is this guy is talking right? Because 311 is not a good friendship most of the time. But in marriage, it actually does. Why it is actually a very good marriage? Because if you see from the natural zodiac, Aries is the sign first house. You just go 3 houses from the Aries. That is Gemini. So Aries is yourself. And what is Gemini indicated with? An intimate couple.
Oh, true.
Okay. So
Present.
that of energy in the marriage, the intimate couple, the
Mhm.
couple having a passionate love.
Nice.
Okay. So this particular combination is actually good
Yeah.
without any problem. Okay. Let's talk about the Kendras. Kendra means quadrants. So for quadrants, there are multiple things. The best one is Samasaptaka, the 1-7 axis. Somebody is Aries, somebody is Libra, totally perfect. Somebody is Cancer and Capricorn, totally perfect. Because ascendant is us. Our spouse is opposite to us, and opposite are attracting all the time. And this is the position where the people are admiring each other. Okay. The person admire the other personality. They are supporting each other. So this is the, and the second number will be both of same 1-1.
Mhm.
Okay. Somebody is Aries rising, marrying with Aries rising. That is good. They are understanding each other. The best understanding you can have is marrying with the same ascendant. The best passionate love you can have, marrying with the opposite ascendant person.
Ah, there you go.
Okay.
I've seen so many relationships with 1-7 opposing ascendants. It's so
Yes. They actually work all the time. Most of the time, if there is not any other combination affecting their marriage, it will be working for sure. Okay. The last one will be 410. These are the couple who are supporting each other no matter what. No matter what, they are supporting. You know, fourth house is the fourth from women. Okay. For the male, fourth house is the home. And you know, the person can be living in a $1 billion house, but it is not home unless he has a female in it. Okay. It's a female who turned house into a home. Okay. So if we see the 10th house from the 7th house, that comes to the home for the male ascendant. Okay. For the female, the 4th house become the 10th house. What is the important job which only a female can do, male cannot do? Managing the house. This is something which is missing in the male gene 100%. Okay. Few exceptions are everywhere, but most of them they don't know how to manage a home, how to stay organized in the home. Okay. They are very good outside the home, but in home they don't know what to do. Because most of the men wiring is something else. And especially the support. Like, you know what? These are the couple, like say the person is doing something important. Suddenly the voice comes in. Okay, I need particular thing and I need it little bit urgently. The person will give up his current task and go and buy that particular thing and okay, have it. So the ultimate support is seen by this particular thing. My mom and dad had this, and they were actually total support. No matter what happens to my that situation, she said, "Okay, don't worry, we will manage." No matter what, at what time my mom says that, "Okay, I need this particular medicine," in 12 a.m. in the midnight, he will go somewhere and try to get the medicine out. Okay, so this is the support we are talking.
Mm. Fascinating.
Okay. So yeah, one horoscope just for the uh,
What if one's ascendant is, say, in, let's say, Virgo, and the other one's sun goes in Aquarius, though? It's not so bad, like if ascendant and ascendant are in 1-6 or in in 6-8, you know. If one's ascendant falls, or if one's sun falls into the 6 or into the 8 or into the 12 from one's ascendant, you won't think this is a deal breaker.
no,
Okay.
it must include some other combination as well. Just this particular combination will not be working. Okay. So this is a very discussed horoscope in astrology things, the horoscope of John Kennedy and Jacqueline Kennedy. Okay. So first of all, like we just see what is happening with the seventh house, whether we have a promise of marriage or not. The seventh house is not having any malefic influence, not any, no malefic influences there in the seventh house. And a lot of seventh house is with Venus, okay, in the Bhagya Bhava, in the house of fortune. So yeah, marriage is promised.
Mhm.
And this is in her chart, we see Rahu. Okay, what is happening in to this particular horoscope? The Lord is in the 11th house. Okay, and except this Rahu, there's no other malefic influence happening. Okay, and Lord is in the benefic sign in her Namansha as well. So the marriage is promised.
So
The Lord is,
you need to have more than one, two or
yeah,
more malefics to deny
yeah,
marriage.
to deny marriage. Yes. Okay. And also, you know what? If you see this particular seventh house, we see a Papakatri. There's a term called Papakatri. Okay. And there's a term called Shubhakatri. So this moon is in the one side of the seventh house, Jupiter and Venus on the another side of seventh house. They are also supporting the seventh house.
Like holding it on both sides.
Okay. So, and if you see this particular horoscope, this is a combination of 212.
12, yeah. One was giving, the other one was taking.
And what happened to this particular marriage? It was fallen apart very soon. And this was the couple who found fighting on the road of USS, being the president of USA and the first lady of USA. They were fighting with each other on the road.
On the road.
Yeah, and the public. That also happened in the history of USA. Okay, because this is not a matching at all.
Yeah.
Okay, one debilitating the other one.
So she's Virgo, he's Virgo rising and she's Libra rising. So he falls in her 12th house,
Yep,
his
yep,
ascendant.
yeah. And also one more thing, their moon is also 6 set from each other. When we do the moon matching, that is also the same thing. So actually, both of the malefic combination is happening in this horoscope.
Yeah.
More story to it, but that is more technical of the Badaka story and all those things. Okay, but that is one of the reasons.
So
Okay,
once you check the ascendants, then check the moons to see if it helps if the moons are in those
yeah,
signs of each other.
the sec-
Further, maybe it can help or maybe it can make it worse.
yeah, that will support something. So
Wonderful.
this is a little bit crux about matching the horoscope. Now, one thing which we discuss, a particular tip of the day, whether to check, how to check whether he's the one or not. And like I said, it is working 100%. Just one thing, you need to check this particular combination with the sidereal astrology because this is coming from the India. Village dictums. Okay, this is not maybe mentioned in the classics, but this is what they found out. Okay, so this is a village astrology dictum. So first of all, you need to have sidereal horoscope calculation, okay, to examine this. And when you have it, you simply check the dasha, the period when you are born. Just take dasha, two levels, mahadasha and antardasha.
Antaradash. Yeah.
These two things, just these two things of birth time, not now. When we were born, then we get two lots. Okay, we just need to go these two steps only, not more than that. The only we are going to the level 2, level 3 or 4 when we find Mahadasha and Antardasha belongs to the same lot. Okay, we need two lots. The first two lots, these two lots will 100% have relationship with the seventh house or the seventh lot of the spouse.
With the seventh lord,
And seventh house or seventh house, either of them.
what kind of relationship?
It can be they are conjoined together, either they might be expecting the seventh house,
Of
okay, or yeah, or their sign is in the seventh house. Specific, these two source lords only. They will surely make a relationship with seventh house or the seventh lord.
and it has to go both ways from
Yes.
both partners.
Yeah. Like I said, I got 95% accuracy. The only 5% accuracy I didn't get, it was happening in one's horoscope and was not happening in somebody else's horoscope. Okay. And I can only remember 3 or 4 charts in my whole career where it was not applicable.
Wow.
It
Wow.
applied one way, it was applicable 100%. That's why I said it will be working 100%. Only 3 to 4 charts I remember. Okay. And I know that the both ways was not working. Only single way was working.
But what kind of ayanamsha do you use? Because if you use different ayanamshas, it can change a bit the Antara Dasha.
Calculation or Chitra Paksha and Amsha
Which
for
one?
this.
Which one?
Chitra Paksha,
Chitrapaksha. That's the one you use it with.
Lahiri.
Lahiri. Okay. Because the Ernst uses a bit of a different ayanamsha.
Yeah, he uses tropical, proper tropical.
No, no, no. He uses the center of the galactic mula or something.
Galactic cycle, the Mula node. Yeah. That is actually results into the tropical one.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So, yeah.
use this sidereal calculation and check it. Tell me in the comments whether it's working or not, because I know it will be working 100%.
So they have to be either say your it has to be both, say both the Mahadasha and the Antaradasha ruler, or one of them,
Either of them.
either of them. So not both. So say you have Mahadasha, you are born saying the Mahadasha of Jupiter, and
Mhm.
you look and you look where your Jupiter is in the chart. Yeah.
Let's say somebody is born in Jupiter Mahadasha and Saturn Antadasha.
Okay.
Okay. So check these two planets relationship with the seventh house or seventh lord.
So you check them in your chart and say your Jupiter is in
in the spouse's chart.
But you need to find the sign of your Jupiter in the natal chart, yeah, and Saturn.
No. Let me explain it again. This is my horoscope. Let's say this is me. And these were the two dashas I was running when I took birth. Okay. I just need to find out whether Saturn or Jupiter making relationship with her seventh house or seventh lord.
In their chart. So you look at
Yeah.
their Jupiter and their Saturn in this
No, seventh lord.
seventh house or seventh lord.
Yes. Let me explain this example onwards so you will have it clarity.
Yes, please.
Let's see. Suppose John Kennedy was born in the Saturn and Jupiter Dasha.
Okay.
So either of these or both must have relationship with either the seventh house or who is the lord of seventh house? That is Mars.
We're looking at Saturn and Jupiter there in her chart. Saturn.
No, we are not looking Saturn and Jupiter. First of all, locate seventh house and Mars and then relate Jupiter and Saturn.
So there's seventh house is Rahu. I don't understand. What do I do now?
Actually, I don't know what dasha they were running actually.
Yeah,
So you
it's just an example. Yeah, it just
seventh, and this is a seventh lord. Try to connect whether this Saturn or this Jupiter have any relationship with these two. If the relationship is there, then this is your spouse. Okay. And if not, this is not your spouse.
And in this case, we don't have any relationship of Jupiter and Saturn to Mars or the seventh.
The dasha actually.
Huh?
I don't know what was the dasha actually, so I don't know.
Yes, but show me where there would be a relationship. If
Okay.
John F. Kennedy was born when?
You need me to bring the chart of John Kennedy and Jacqueline. How about I give you another example of
Yeah.
somebody else?
And we're looking at at Vedic aspects. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a chart of Jacqueline already here. Let me show you.
I was born in Keto, Dasha, and my husband's Ketu is in his first house, which means it's looking at the seventh house. So there you go. All right. So I'm kind of getting it now.
Yeah, you will get it when you apply in the horoscopes, okay?
So when you see that, you say, okay, this person is for you. What does
And her dasha and antadasha lord of his birth will be related to your seventh house.
and
Check it.
goes both ways but even if you have your ascendant at 6-8, you'd still tell them you're for each other or what?
See, if it is 6-8, our responsibility is not to approve the marriage.
Okay.
Okay. And if they are meant to get married, okay, they will get married. But our responsibility is not to approve 6-8 access at all. Okay, this is a secondary thing. But if everything is confirmed, okay, somebody brings two chart and everything is comfort, and this is the last thing you check whether he is the one or not. That's it.
Okay. All right.
If
After everything else, you go at this and you say, okay, it will happen basically.
yeah, or you can check this in the first place, and if it is confirming, then you can move to the other combination, whether the quality of the marriage and this and that.
Okay.
Or somebody is staying in a relationship for 10 years, okay, and now they think they want to get married, whether he's the one they are marrying or not. This is the deal breaker.
This is part of your path in life, basically. Yeah.
and it will work 100%. I'm telling you again and again.
Wow.
Because in such so many years, I only able to find out 3 or 4 charts where it was not working both ways. One way it was working everywhere.
How did you find this rule? That's fascinating.
My teacher taught me.
Um,
Mentor from India, which okay, so this is the village astrology secrets. Okay, they are not mentioned in any books or any classics. So this is their technique coming from lineage to lineage. Means I will be teaching to somebody else, maybe on your platform. Okay, or I already did.
Yes,
So
yes. You started as a teacher, right? And by the way, if anyone would like a personal reading with Himanshu, I'll put the link below. You just write to him and how to contact him and everything. I guess you'd have a lot of people interested in relationship horoscopes now.
so yeah, let's. I guess that is all from me for today.
Yes, thank you so much, Himanshu. It's incredible. I learned so many things that I did not know, which surprises me because that's not often. I'm fascinated by your knowledge, and I would really love you to carry on and start doing courses soon for us. You just demonstrated your excellent skill. And if anyone would like to contact Himanshu again, link below in the description or in the cards on the video, contact him. And thank you so much for the
Thank you.
amazing lesson. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.